Hello everyone, Jazz the Gamer here, and today I'm going to be talking about why Zaheer in Avatar Legends the Fighting Game is one of my new favorite fighting game characters of all time. But before that, I just want to thank you all real quick. My review on the Avatar Legends the Fighting Game closed beta is currently my most viewed video on this channel. I put a lot of effort into that video, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys watching it. If you're a returning viewer from that video or got into my content because of that video, thank you so much. That means a lot to me that a more recent video was able to get more views than my previous most viewed video in a matter of days. That's awesome, man. Thank you all so much for that. Second off, I have a Discord server now, so if you're a teenage fighting game fan like I am and want to find people to play fighting games with, then definitely check that out. Just fill in an application and I can let you in. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Zaheer. Zaheer in Avatar Legends is honestly a pretty fascinating character in the sense that it's fascinating just how much your hands are going to be bleeding in the first session alone. Because yes, Zaheer is the single hardest character in the entire game. And in my opinion, that makes him one of the coolest. I love difficult and technical characters in fighting games. I think that they are genuinely some of the coolest characters in all of fighting games. You know, when they're fun to fight against, too. Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future, Magneto in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Dante in Marvel 3. I genuinely think all of these characters are really cool. And now Zaheer is among those ranks of some of my favorite fighting game characters of all time. But there's also the fact that, he actually has a really interesting gimmick up his sleeve. But before that, I kind of got to explain something. You see, Zaheer is a bit of an anarchist. That means he doesn't really follow the rules. And in this game, that's translated in the fact that he doesn't really follow the most essential rule of one-on-one fighting games. That being the fact that they are one-on-one fights. Because Zaheer just decides to jump your Azure by having all his friends come in as assists. I've seen people compare him to Captain Ginyu from Dragon Ball FighterZ, but honestly, I don't really think that's an apt comparison. Ginyu is a character that's pretty much just about calling his assists. His entire toolkit begins and ends with calling in assists. Yes, the things that you can do with the assist is where the complexity comes in, but if you take away his assists, he's kind of just some really, really bad character. Unlike the character that is the true originator of this archetype and should have been hailed as the source of inspiration for Zaheer, Captain Commando from Marvel vs. Capcom. The main reason I would compare Zaheer more to Captain Commando than Ginyu is the fact that, like I said before, you take away Ginyu's assists, you kind of just get a nothing character. He is literally a dysfunctional, incomplete, absolutely garbage bottom tier character that isn't even worth playing in the slightest. Zaheer and Captain Commando, on the other hand, are pretty complete characters to the point where even if you take away their assists, they still have at least something. They can still at least work as a character. It's not like their functionality disappears if you take away their one major gimmick. That's another one of the reasons why I think Zaheer is such a cool character. He's not a character about his main gimmick. He's a character bolstered by that gimmick. What I mean by this is that if you take away his main gimmick, that being his assist, you still have a decently functional and somewhat complete character, even if he is underwhelming. It's the same reason I love Faust from Guilty Gear so much. He's already a complete character, and he's not defined by the items. The items just bolster his kit even further and make him a much more capable character. And now that we talked about that, I might as well mention his assists, because I think they are genuinely one of my favorite things about this character. One of the main reasons that I would say his assists are so cool is the fact that Zaheer's assists help him out a lot. For as much as I said he would still be a complete and functional character if you took away his assists, he would by no means be a good one. He'd probably be the worst character in the game, bar none, if he didn't have them. But the fact that he does actually puts him on the same playing field as all of these other characters. Maybe that says something about Zaheer, that he's only good in a fight when he and all his friends are jumping people. Depending on which of these characters you have as Zaheer's support, it actually enhances each one's assist in a unique way. If you have Ming-Hua as your support, then Ming-Hua assist goes from a standard half-screen attack to a dang near full-screen attack. Wait, no, actually full-screen attack. It's also really useful in his mid-screen combos. Minghua in the air does this sick little dive kick thing that bounces the opponent on hit, and EX Minghua assist is a flipping homing missile that ground bounces on hit and is actually pretty good. I honestly think about using this in the same way that Toph players use Toph pillars to pressure people even when they're waking up, so that even if they tech forward or backwards on their wake up, they still have to deal with something. Pilly Assist definitely focuses more on his long-range presence in the sense that this laser beam no longer is duckable when she's your assist character. The EX assist is Mystic Ray at home, but I'd rather have Mystic Ray at home than no Mystic Ray, so thanks for that, I guess. And finally, Gazan, my preferred support. Simply because, first off, lava bending is my favorite sub-style of bending, and second off, this lava wall does so much for me. You wouldn't believe it. It helps him out so much in mid-screen combos for when you don't really want Minghua support. The EX version of this thing is ridiculously cool, but I fear I may never understand it. This thing is ridiculous. He summons his lava shuriken and goes in the star-like pattern with it, allowing for some pretty unique follow-ups if you know what you're doing, but it has a lot of room for Zaheer to flex his mix-up game, even if you don't know the full capabilities of this mid-combo. I really like Zaheer's supports, they're all really cool. And now that we've talked about his supports, let's talk about the man himself. Because I think that even base Zaheer is a really interesting character. Because this guy can freaking fly. Yeah, that's right, Zaheer's Zamasu-style flying is honestly my favorite aspect of this character. He can either be running away from the opponent or just approaching them relentlessly. It's really cool. This does kind of pose an issue, however, because Zaheer is at his strongest when he's in the air, and this is a game with no blocking in the air. So, yeah, you know, you take some, you lose some. It's definitely not great, but honestly, he's not really too big to where ducking and weaving around attacks is really that much of a problem. If you're playing against, you know, Toph or Azula, you can just pretend like you're playing a bullet hell game. One thing that I think is really cool about Zaheer is how his fly is incorporated in combos. It's really useful being able to fly, unfly, and then refly, but man, is it like very tight to actually do that in some combos. Like this shtick right here, this freaking jab loop. When I saw this in the trailer, I thought for sure, that's gonna be the hard stuff. Oh yeah, nobody's doing that. And heck, I was right. Nobody's doing this because it sucks. It looks cool in trailers, but like, really, it's not that good of a combo. You might get a knockdown out of it, and that's something. You can tack on a level 7 at the end because, of course, you can. But really, it's just cool. And honestly, that's all I need. And that's another thing I really like about Zaheer. If you know what you're doing, almost any stray hit can be turned into a full combo. Seriously, get a random air-to-air, boom, they are yours to combo. Get them from super jump height, even better. EX glider thing, fly, call Minghua assist, bounce them back down, go back down, keep comboing them, just do a basic bread and butter string, you know, the one from earlier that I said that Gazan makes much easier, which makes my life as a whole much easier. You get a random assist hit from like a decent bit away. Yeah, that can be a full combo too. As long as it's not a stand heavy at like not even max range, you can get a full enough combo bare minimum off of like any hit. And it really just means that once you know what you're doing with Zaheer, the floodgates open wide. This character has a really interesting and really open-ended kit to the point where I genuinely think that you might be able to, at some point, tell players apart from how they play Zaheer. It's really interesting, and I love characters like that because it just feels I am implementing my own rule of cool, my own playstyle, my own just personality in general into this fighting game character and expressing myself through them. It's awesome. It's an art form, essentially, I'd like to call it. Unfortunately, though, there are a couple gripes I have with Zaheer. Some of these are intended weaknesses because, of course they are. No character could or should be perfect, and some of them just are not. First off, this motherfudger sucks on the ground. Yeah, I get it, this man can fly, he's got all the air stuff in the world, but they didn't really give him much in favor of his ground game. He has kind of the fastest of these like forward dashes out of anyone in the game, simply because his forward dash is a run instead of just a normal dash, but like that doesn't really matter when like A, air mobility is just as if not more important, and B, pretty much every character has unique grounded movement options too, so him being really good at one universal movement option doesn't really do him a whole lot of favors when every other character outclasses him in some way, shape, or form. It is still funny to just run up and throw someone from full screen away, though. Another thing that's not really great about Zaheer is the fact that his damage is just okay. And, like, I get why, right? He's a character who's pretty good at getting a hit, so it would kind of make sense that they wouldn't want him to be good at hitting the opponent. And it's not really to such an egregious degree where it's like, I feel like I'm getting no reward from it at all, despite the amount of effort I'm putting in. Like how I feel with Focused Azula sometimes. Like, come on. I'm doing my best here, man. I'm doing stupid bullshit. Why can't I get more damage off this? And one thing that I really am not vibing with when it comes to Zaheer is that this man loses so many matchups so hard. Kiyoshi and Toph especially are just big trouble for Zaheer. Kiyoshi just outranges Zaheer in all the ways that she needs to be a problem for him. And Zaheer can't really do much about it. The only thing that he really has going for him is that if he does manage to get a hit on Kiyoshi and actually get into a situation where he can mix her shtick, then she's really big, and a big character is going to have a big hitbox, which essentially means that Zaheer has all the size he needs to get to work when it comes to mixing her shtick. That's like the only thing he has going for him in this matchup. Other than that, nope, it's pretty abysmal. Toph especially just also gives me trouble for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why. I guess maybe it's just a, I have to learn it thing. Maybe Toph in general is just a really annoying character for me to fight. I don't know. And I don't know what it is. Losing to a Toph player just feels almost especially insulting, considering the fact that this little shtick is freaking privileged. I'm doing all this work and not even getting that much off of it, and yet you're just sitting here armoring through all my shtick, and you're just winning off of it. Off mindlessly rolling your face on the controller. How dare you insult my hard work and dedication? It's all jokes at the end of the day, but like, still. But there is still plenty of good, because I do want to end it off with probably my favorite aspect about Zaheer. He is everything I find cool in a fighting game character. He's decently easy to pick up and get used to if you played other fighting games, although probably not for some players, but he is very, very hard to master. He's got a ton of really unique mobility options, he's got a really unique gimmick that makes him stand out from the rest of the cast, and his kit is so open-ended that every player is like playing their own version of Zaheer. And I really love that in fighting games. It really feels like you have a sense of self, like you're not just doing the same thing everyone else is doing, learning the same way, not really being able to take your own ideas and actually like implement them into the game. Zaheer lets you do all of that and then some. I would call technical characters in fighting games, especially the ones that allow you to get creative with it, an art form. And Zaheer is one of the very few examples of truly great modern art. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. Maybe subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications on future videos. I'm jazzed to have been here, and I'll see you in the next one.